Hello, good morning. Mr. Rashid with you. We're going to continue with our lesson Physics Grade 7. We're going to continue from this page 128. Good. And don't forget, like I told you, don't forget to look at the end of chapter questions. If you have some question, you can ask me, inshallah, and then I will assist you to. It is very, very easy. If you go through them, it's not anything difficult. If you understood the lesson, it is very, very easy. And especially, I told you to also look at the key point. Don't forget, they are a summary of all the lesson that we did as far as last week is concerned. So please try and then go through them. And then if you go through them, the end of chapter questions will be very, very easy for you. Good. So we don't want to spoon feed you like I keep on saying, okay? But if you have some question, you don't understand the question, you can ask me and then I will make it clear for you. Good. So let's continue with our lesson. We're going to look at discovering the universe 1. Discovering the universe 1. What are our objectives? These are our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, this is what we are supposed to know. To describe some ideas about the universe that develop in different cultures. When we talk of culture, culture means the way a group of people live. The way a group of people live with respect to their belief, okay, and their norms. Good. This is what we mean by what culture. So we're going to look at the description as far as the ideas they have with respect to the universe and then how it developed up to today. Then the second objective is to describe the geocentric model of the solar system. The geocentric model of the solar system. Now, if you look at the what you mean by geocentric, we will look at them one after the other as far as what this very lesson is concerned. Now, before we look at we need to look at certain important word so that it will help us to understand the entire lesson. What are these words? The first word we're going to look at is what to call the model. We look at what is model. What do we mean by model? Okay? So maybe you can write. Let's say model. When we say model, you can see it over here. Models. What are models? We say models are, or you can say a model is an object. A model is an object. A model could be an object, equation. It could be an object, an equations, or image, or images that help to explain what we see. That help to explain what we see. This is what we mean by what a model. A model is what? It's an object, equation, or image that help us to explain what we see. Okay, so we can just take this one. It is a picture. This is also a picture. Okay. This is also a picture, and these are all we can represent this one as models because they can help us to see something and then it will be explained for us to understand. Okay, good. So this is what we mean by what a model. Now, what about geocentric model? Because you shall come across this is what we mean by geocentric model. What do we understand by geocentric model? The meaning of geocentric model is simply it is a model of what? Solar system with the earth at the middle. It is the model of solar system with the earth at the middle, and that is it. This is the picture of it. Okay? So we said the geocentric model of the universe with the earth at the center. So this is what we mean by what? Geocentric model. Okay, and you can see the earth at the middle. You have the book, you look at it over. You have the earth, the moon, the Mercury, Venus, in that order. Good. So this is what we mean by what? Geocentric model. Okay, good. And let's come to the lesson itself, the substantive. Now, if you look at the lesson, we have what we call telling stories. Telling stories. So it tells you that this one, it comes with some kind of historical background, okay, with respect to what the universe. A brief story with respect to what the universe. How some people or some countries believe the world was, or let's say the earth or the universe. How was it before we have the universe of today? So basically, the story is over here. Okay, we are not going to read it one after the other just like we used to do, but then I'm just going to give it a brief picture of it so that you will understand after you have read. So you realize that we are talking about the telling story. So this telling story is all about what? How the earth, how some people and part of the world were looking at it. Okay, and we can say the story is all about what? If you look at the story, it is, we can just describe the story as a myth. And what is a myth? A myth, when I talk of a myth, I mean the word myth, like M-Y-T-H. Okay, you can look it out from your dictionary. M-Y-T-H. This story is all about what? It's like a myth, okay? Because it's some kind of story that has to do with what? Some traditional people blending with their culture, okay? So when we say or we define a myth, we say a myth is a traditional story, especially concerning early history of a people, explaining natural phenomena with respect to supernatural being or event. Okay, this is what we mean by what a myth. So you realize that this story is all about what a myth as to how the world was before, or how the universe, how they see the universe to be before today's universe, before scientists came out with what the real way of how the universe looked like. So as part of the story, let's look at these ones. We said people in India thought that a flat earth was supported by 12 pillars. So you can see the picture over there. So you see, this is totally a myth. This is how they thought. They thought the world or the earth was supported by these very 12 pillars. And this was what? This was the belief. The belief in the olden days as far as the Indian people were concerned. Okay? That's what I'm saying. This story is all about what? It's like a myth with respect to how the world was or the universe. Then you come over here. There was another idea that the earth was supported on the back of a turtle, and you can see, okay, so you can see this is a turtle, and then you can see some elephant, and then the universe was on top of them. So this was how some people were looking at it. But what was the real story? The real story is over here with respect to how the universe, okay, how the universe, and what was the scientists came out with what we call the model. And remember, we gave the definition of a model, which is an object, equation, or image that helps us to explain what we see. Okay, good. So out of this model, if you read, you can see the picture. Okay, you can see the picture as to the genesis from where the model came from. And then we came to what we call the early models of the universe. So the early model of the universe was what? The geocentric model, which we have it over here as what? As the geocentric model, being the model of a solar system whereby they said the earth is what? Is at the middle. Okay, so this is it about what? About the geocentric model. So this is how, if you look at what? Our topic, the discovering of the universe 1. Okay, so this was what? This is the story behind it. This is the story behind it. Then we came to what we call the same idea. If you look at the same idea but different places, this is also talking about the fact that some people also have certain belief. Okay, they also have certain belief with respect to how the universe behave, and some of the materials or certain things or objects that can be found in the universe. Okay, like the moon, the earth, and all those things, like the solar system and the rest. Okay, they have certain idea about them, but then they were not having any proof. But the scientists of today, scientists like what? We have the scientists of today, the Isaac Newtons and the rest. They also came out with what? With the real model to support these very ideas that some people used to have. Okay, the old people used to have with respect to what? The universe and how it behaved. So these people, they brought about what? They supported their argument with what? With a model. So like if you look at this very area, we say astronomers use Newton's equation to predict that there was a planet beyond Uranus. And then we said Newton's idea was very powerful because you can use it to make predictions. This was used okay, to make what predictions. And this was out of the real model that was brought up, because the model that we use so that it will help us understand how the earth behave, or how the universe look like, or how the universe was discovered, okay, but not a mere story with respect to what the myth, or let's assume the story that we saw in what, in the first part of what, of the lesson. Okay, so scientists came out with the real, model. They brought out some model to give what more understanding as far as what the discovery of the universe is concerned. So basically, this is where we shall stop, and then we will continue with discovering the universe 2, which is on page 130. Okay, good. But before then, don't forget to look at the question. As far as the summary question is concerned, it's very, very easy. It's not anything. You can see with respect to the matching, and then the question 2 also said describe the geocentric model of the universe. Okay, if you come to this portion and you read it very carefully, you can get it very easily, and then you understand. Good. And then you also think about the stories of that you use to tell each other about stars and then the planet, and then you compare this with the geocentric model of Newton and Bhaskaracharyya model. Okay, so this is also very easy for us to understand. So that is it as far as today's lesson is concerned, and I believe it's very, very interesting, and you will understand. If you don't understand something, you can let me know so that I can easily let you understand. Thank you very much, and thank you for your attention.